Hey guys, welcome back to Easel Does It Studio. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic weekend. So we're going to attempt this dang rose again because I'm going to master it. I don't have a rose bud, but I have this rose. So if I squeeze it, I can squeeze it in there. So, but what I'm going to do this time is I am only going to fill it up like halfway. And then once it is like tacky, then I'm going to finish filling it. So I did use, I'm using the Craftor resin for this because this sets up much quicker. Even though it's a regular epoxy 1-to-1, it sets up much quicker than the other resins that I've used. With this one, we're going to use the Let's Resin epoxy resin, and I have that mixed and it's in the debubbler now. And I'm going to just mix some Midnight Blue into it so it's transparent. And I bought me a kit with some different colored stones. They're all the same size, unfortunately, but it gives me at least an option of some different colors. Like these two are my favorite. So we're going to decorate the flowers with the stones because this is the Into Resin Christmas jar. So we're going to do this after. We're going to work on this right now. So I'm just going to take some tape and just make sure there's nothing in here. I didn't see anything, but because I am going to be dang if this thing gets me. Yeah, no, it is not going to win. All right. I'm going to leave a little bit so that I have something to dip my rose into. And I'm going to pour it the same way I did on the last one. Just down the side slowly so we're not introducing any bubbles. All right. Just to make sure. All right, so this part here is going to get messy. I'm sure I will probably have to change my gloves after, and I'm leaving my stem long because I don't want this all the way down. I want enough sticking out. And I haven't figured out how I'm going to attach it, but I'm just going to squish this in there to really like see how it's like really nice and coated. And I am going to now give that a spray and very carefully I'm going to squeeze my rose, and we are going to try and squeeze it in this. All right. So let me get something to wipe my hands and wipe this mold. All right. See, it's sitting right on the bottom, and that is what I don't. I want it up a little bit. And I have something yellow in my resin. So it's early enough in the day that I will be able to hopefully put the final 4 ounces in it in about 4 or 5 hours. Because I want to try to catch it before it is hard, because I don't want that line that you get if you let your resin completely cure before you pour your next layer. And because I don't have to go anywhere today, I think I am safe. But how in the crap am I gonna hold this up? That is the million-dollar question. All right. So let me get my hot glue gun. And I am let's see here. All right. Let me just trying to think. If I glue it 2 sticks that way, then I can kind of rest it up on maybe some cups. Let me see if these cups would work. That would be too high. Oh well, I'll find something, but I'm gonna grab my other resin. All right, so that is the Let's Resin epoxy resin. And it's just a few little surface bubbles. We'll get those. I should have put my ink in, but I forgot again. All right, so I'll let that get hot. So let me grab some more gloves. Use these big ones because I have more of these. All right. So if I can remember correctly, this holds either 7 or 8 ounces. I made up 8. I'm hoping it's going to be enough. So there's 4 in each. So I'm going to put the same amount of drops in each. And that way, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we will see what that looks like. And I'm probably going to add a little bit of the crushed crystal. And maybe I'll run that back through the debubbler. You know, one of these days, guys, I'm going to learn to mix my color in and then debubble it. But I don't think this will take that long. I just want to make sure that it's good and stirred. And I'm hoping that this is going to have a tinge of blue, even though it's very light. Let me just kind of, probably another 2 drops. All right, and I'll grab my crushed crystal. Let's try the magical peacock green one. I keep forgetting that I bought that, and all right, so let me get these mixed. I'll pop these back in my little debubbler. Well, let me put my flakes in at the same time, so just a little tiny bit. And let's see what that. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. All right. So I guess I'm gonna have to check some of the other colors out, because that peacock one is really pretty. All right. So we'll grab 2 sticks, and we are going to, let's see if I pull. So I'm just holding it on there until that glue cools down. So this might work just like this. And this rose is big enough that it shouldn't twist, and I don't have that much resin in there. But I didn't want it all the way to the bottom, or to the top rather. So I think that is going to, of course I can't even tell if it's definitely, I don't think, on the bottom, so that'll be good. All right, so we're just gonna move this, and we're gonna let that firm up just like that, and then I will finish filling it. And hope and pray that we get some good results. All right, so this one here, I do need to go in with a little bit of tape. All right, and this is not easy to do with gloves on, guys. Oh, and that's the speck that's in the silicone. Okay. All right. So let me grab that resin because I knew it wasn't going to need much. A few more minutes. So this kit I got from Amazon. It came with these 2 tubes, the little pen, and the tweezers. So, all right, let me just take these off. We'll open this up so we can get a better look at some of these stones. These ones are really, really crystally. Look at that. All right, make sure I open it the right way. So these are not the, like the iron-on type ones, but I mean, look at that blue is gorgeous. This purple is like an iridescent. It has blues and purples. So once the jar comes out, then we can decide like what color we're gonna do on our little, because there's the berries in the middle, there's leaves, and then there's the like a poinsettia flower. So I don't know if we're just gonna maybe outline the flowers, or I don't know. We'll figure that out when we demold. All right, now it looks like it's staying where I'm put it. All right, so let me check that now. There we go. All right, let me get some gloves. Because, you know, everything is sticky. All right. So you can see that green, like, sparkly. All right, so I'm gonna give that a good spritz. And again, I'm going to pour slowly. There is still some bubbles in here, so I'm going to give this about 5 minutes, guys, and then I will be back. I want to finish letting the bubbles rise so we can try and get a nice crystal clear flower pot thing. All right, so I'll be back as soon as I get this clear. Okay, so we've got the bubbles out. So I am just going to do like we did on the ball, and I'll pour 1 cup, and then I'm going to squish it around. There's a little piece of mica powder that didn't mix up. All right. And hopefully by a little bit of mica powder didn't mix, but oh well. I was trying to not get any more bubbles incorporated, so hopefully next time I remember to put my color in first, mix it, and then put it in the debubbler. And again, we're gonna just kind of pour, let it find its own path. And before I fill it right up to the top, I just want to kind of go around that rim. Just because I don't want the bubbles to kind of cling there. And so we have about 1.5 ounces left. So 7 ounces would definitely be a good amount. And then you'd have just a little bit left, but so I am gonna probably dome it once I clean this edge up a little. All right. So I'm spraying the alcohol now because the inner side of that mold is completely covered. Because you don't want to spray alcohol into the handmade molds. All right. So yeah, 7 ounces is perfect for that. All right, so I have 1 ounce left. I'm just gonna leave that. I'm not even gonna try to move it. I will find something to put the ounce in, and then I'll be back on demold. I'm not gonna bother to show you mixing 4 more ounces and pouring it, because you guys all know how to do that. So I will get this poured later today, filled up, and then I will let these set and we will be back for demold. All right, guys, I just took these. I waited for them to set up. The first pour, I only had to wait like 2 hours, and I was able to pour the second pour, and I only got 1 bubble here. So I'm thinking we have success. So I ended up making 5 more ounces. So this takes 8 ounces. So I had 1 ounce left. So I just made up some extras. And This is one of the little crystally turtles. These always come out amazing. So this was the gold chunky mica powders from Let's Resin. That was the gold one. And this one was the green, and I just mixed in a little bit of alcohol ink. So those are our two turtles, which I will make them into keychains. And I made another set of earrings. Guys, I love these earrings. I have had them in for 2 days. I slept with them. I was blown away. I really, really like these. All right, these are probably still a little bit too soft, but look how pretty those are. All right, let me get my light plugged in here, so I can try and show you the sparkle here. All right. So I just threw in some of the blue into the resin. So when I mount these, I'm going to make sure that I mount them so that this is going to be the outside part that's going to show. But these are amazing, guys. And this is just a cheap mold that I got at Michael's. So I think next time I go back, I will probably get another one. I am contemplating making them not so thick, and see if that works. But, I mean, these are just, they are gorgeous. So the glitter did sink because I did not put any glue in there, but still, they are absolutely beautiful. So those are our earrings, which I will put them together, but that's, you know, not part of the video. These were the two main events. So let's hope and pray. Oh, and we do have a few little micro bubbles. I can already see them. Crap. And I'm hoping this has cooled down enough to get it out. Some of these are not the easiest to get out, guys. All right, let me fix my mold. I'm already loving it better than the darker color that I had done. All right, turn that back the right way. So you can see that little bit of a swirl from the interference powder. So yeah, a few little micro bubbles, maybe a couple in here. But overall, I mean, this came out really, really good. So now I'm actually thinking I might color it with my markers because I did it in the blue. I do have a little trimming on the bottom, but that's not that big of a deal. Now this is, yeah. I'm going to use the, I do have soapy water, but it doesn't go down and displace like the alcohol does, in my opinion. So with the alcohol, you can really break that suction and you can get it to pop right out. Come on. Break section on the top there, baby. Really get that going around in there. There we go. That top wasn't releasing. All right, I'm gonna stand up because I need all my strength. You'd be like, oh, it's just a, you know, it's just a ball, but man, that thing comes out of there mean. So I think it tinted the resin. I think it did. All right, let me get, but it is smooth, so. And there's no bubbles. Let me just, there we go. So you can see that rose in there, but it filled up because it's magnified so much. But it worked, guys. So I am wondering if by putting a light underneath, if that would make the difference. I bet it would. All right, so oh yeah, look at that. That is pretty. The rose was a little bit big, so I'm glad that I pulled it down, you know, as much as I did, but hey, it was a success. So there's got to be some scratches in my mold because I've wiped that. So there are a few little tiny micro bubbles every now and then, but not bad. If anything, they look like dewdrops. All right, let me shut this light off. But yeah, I think we had success here, guys. I was bound and determined. I was getting me a Christmas rose in the ball, and it was going to come out good. I was just bound and determined. All right, so I think we're going to go to plan B. Now that I'm looking at that, I think we're going to do the red on these berries. And they will probably need 2 coats, but I'll only do the one just to you know, show you guys. And that way you're not getting bored with me just painting So I haven't even had supper yet. I was like, I'm going down. We're just having leftover seafood. We had seafood last night, so they're fending for themselves. And I'm like, nope, I am going to go get my project done. Yeah, this is looking way better than my first jar like this. And then what I'll do is, you could do like a UV resin over it. I'm going to probably just use my 2x clear acrylic spray, like I do my statues, to seal this paint in. So that is one coat on that. And so I'm assuming this, and this are leaf, like green leaves, and then the rest are red. So I'll just do the one side so you guys can see what it's going to look like, and then that way there I can kind of let it dry in between. So when I'm doing the other side, this side will already be dry, so I'm not making a mess everywhere. Because when I try to do it all on camera, then I'm touching the wet paint. And yeah, I don't want to do that. And we've got another. I mean, I suppose I could make all of these like poinsettia leaves, but I just think it's going to have a little bit better look, having a little bit of that green poking out through. All right, we have one more green over here. And I'm actually thinking that in between these these berries, there should be a little bit of green. So I'm gonna do that now so that when I put the next coat of red on, that green will already be in there. It doesn't have to be like everywhere, but so yeah, the oil paint pens definitely work better than the acrylic on resin pieces, I find. And it definitely works better when you don't have a lot of bubbles. All right, so we got the green. And I'm gonna outline with the fine one, and then I'll color them in with the little bit thicker tip. You know, I'll go around the green, and then I can do the top with the thicker part, if that makes any sense. So this part here is frosted, so it's going to cover, I think, much better because it is frosted. All right, so let's get the berries again. So I'm just trying to get the edges of the flowers. And because my piece is warm, it is helping my paint to dry quicker. So I'm just basically following the shape of the petals. But yeah, this color combination definitely works way better. Because the last one, it was like red on red, and it really didn't make it stand out the way it should. So if you didn't see that one, that's back a little ways. So again, this is an into resin. I do have a coupon code But right now, Into Resin is having their Black Friday deals, which is 25% off, and you don't need a code. So now would be the time, you know, if there was a certain mold you wanted to get, you know, it would definitely be now would be the time to get it, because these are fairly expensive molds. So I do have the Into Resin link in my description. All right, so almost done with the finer detail. All right, so I can just switch ends, and now we can go just kind of right over the whole top of it. You know, and then I'll, like I said, I'll put a second coat, but just so you can kind of see what it's gonna look like. And then I will try to get some final pictures. I've got to start trying to get better at taking better pictures. I don't have like a designated spot to do my pictures, so yeah, it kind of, I did spend most of the afternoon getting reorganized down in my room here. That way I could babysit my projects. And then I'll just, any spots that I miss, I'll go over. I'll get them on the second coat. But yeah, I think this is definitely looking much better. And I like this jar more transparent. I don't know, it just adds to the beauty of the jar, I think. Oh, we got one more. I thought I was done. The more I thought about the stones, I was like, I don't know. I just thought it would take away from the beauty of this jar. especially once I saw it unmolded. I was like, yeah. So yeah, that is what it's going to look like. So I will go ahead, I'll get the second coat on, and I will get everything cleaned up, and I'll get some pictures, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.